Welcome back. I'm Pratap here. Today is 18th October 2025. In this video, I'm going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please note, we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. All the training lessons are already available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. To access all the training lessons at our channel homepage, click on the tab Posts. Then you get access to this post. And this post is having two YouTube playlist links that are having all the training lessons. First playlist is having all the training lessons from lesson 1 to lesson 30 and also lesson 11 to lesson 30 examples videos are also available. Second playlist, lesson 1 to lesson 8 examples are available in the second playlist. Click on the first playlist. Here you have lessons up to 30. And this is supply demand zone price action course YouTube playlist. To access the first lesson, scroll down to the bottom of the page. Here starting from lesson 1.1, all the training lessons are placed in an order. So please complete lesson 1.1 to lesson 8. First complete the theoretical lesson, go back to the examples playlist and complete the example. That way you complete up to lesson 8. And lesson 11 onwards, you are having both the theory and the practical examples videos in the same one by one. You have a theory lesson and then practical lesson. I provided all the training instructions at our Telegram channel in detail. So I request you join at our Telegram channel. I am providing the link to our Telegram channel in this video description. Once you join in the old messages or previous messages or even in the pinned messages, you can find the training instructions. If you can learn the course according to those training instructions, then it will be helpful to you to become a very good independent trader. Please make use of this opportunity. Now I am generating different supply demand zone reports with the help of NeoStock Software's supply demand zone top-down analysis strategy builder. And a few instructions before starting the reports. For each report, I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the reports. I request you pause the video, study the report and proceed to the next reports. And I might be giving some commentary for each of the reports. If you want to listen the commentary, please go through the entire report without pausing the video. Once you complete the commentary about that particular report, then you can pause, study the report. Please follow these instructions. And also those who don't understand the structure of the reports, you please complete lesson 20.1 video. In that video, I explained all the details about the reports in detail. Okay, first I am going to generate stocks near daily and 75 minutes demand zones and also 75 minutes. Daily and 75 minutes stocks near demand and supply zones. From those reports, we will identify high priority, high liquidity zones so that you can use those zones for your intraday trading as per the high liquidity zone strategy that I explained in lesson 21.3 video. Okay, first daily time frame, stocks near to the daily demand zone. We got 13 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. CAMS is having a high priority, high liquidity daily demand zone. Grasim is also having a high liquidity zone. Petronet is not valid because it is a pierced zone. Those who wants to use pierced zones that you learned in lesson 28, pierced zone strategy, they can use this zone and then according to those strategies, you can plan trades, but not high liquidity zone. So we identify two daily high priority, high liquidity zones from this list. Okay, next report for daily time frame. Stocks near to the daily supply zone, we got 8 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity daily supply zones from this list. APL Apollo is having a daily high liquidity supply zone. And then mankind is also having a daily high liquidity supply zone. So total 2 daily high liquidity supply zones we identified from this list. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Stocks near to the 75 minutes demand zone. We got 10 stocks. Let us identify 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. Bharat Forge is having a 75 minutes high liquidity zone. Next, Suzlon is having a 75 minutes high liquidity demand zone. That's it. We got two 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones from this list. Okay, next, for 75 minutes time frame, stocks near to the 75 minutes supply zone, we got only 4 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity zones. IGL is having a 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone. That's it. We got only one 75 minutes high liquidity supply zone from this list. So this is about stocks near demand and supply zones, and we are using high liquidity zones for the HLQ zone strategy that you learned in lesson 21.3 video. Next, I am generating Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain reports, starting with Nifty. Generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Okay, this is Nifty monthly supply demand zone chain report. In any supply demand zone chain report, always look into the zone column to find the high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. Always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. You already learned one time frame higher is ITF trend, one more time frame higher is HTF trend. And remember these rules for all the supply demand zone chain reports. I think in lesson 29, I didn't remember the video number. One of the videos in lesson 29, I explained Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain reports, how to use them. If you did not complete the video, go to the lesson 29 and search for that video. Okay, next. Generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Nifty. So this is a Nifty supply demand zone chain report generation. Next, I will generate Bank Nifty. Nifty Bank is nothing but Bank Nifty. Generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 125 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 75 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 25 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, generating 5 minutes supply demand zone chain reports for Bank Nifty. So this is a Bank Nifty supply demand zone report generation. That means we have completed both Nifty and Bank Nifty reports. Next, I will generate sideways bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly and daily income trades. So starting with monthly income trade, sideways long trade setup, entry time frame should be daily, entry zone, demand zone, bullish, bearish or sideways trade setup parameter at entry time frame daily. I am selecting sideways long, zone achievement should be violated opposing zone, minimum odd enhance score should be 11 for sideways, 12 for bullish or bearish. And the third filter, this daily demand zone should not be pierced, but I am not filtering the stocks. I am allowing pierced zones. So if anybody find pierced zones, those zones you can use for pierced zone strategies that you learn in lesson 27, but not for sideways or bullish or bearish trade setups. Always remember, if I am allowing pierced zone, those zones should use only for pierced zone strategies. You should exclude those zones for the current strategy we are filtering. Okay, now I am filtering the stocks. 3 stocks we got. Ignore the second one. This should be used only for pierced zone, and remaining 2 demand zones are supporting sideways long trade setup for for monthly income trade, and the entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. But plan trades in these 2 daily demand zones only if lesson 30.3 video checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next, sideways short trade setup for monthly income trade. Changes are daily supply zone and sideways short. Let's filter. No stocks are available. And the next report, bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Changes are daily demand zone. We are bullish. And minimum odd enhance score should be 12. Let's filter. We got 21 stocks. Any pierced zones, ignore them. But otherwise, out of these 21 stocks, we should identify high probability trade setup daily demand zones based on 2 different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. But before that, the total number of daily demand zones, first 18 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, total 21 stocks are filtered. Out of these 21 daily demand zones, let us identify high probability trade setup zones. The first strategy should be LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. After that, ITF demand zone with ITF EMA confluence. So 2 steps are there. First step, daily and weekly demand zone confluence. Stocks let us filter first, and then we will apply EMA confluence. This is only daily and weekly demand zone support. 17 stocks are there, and all the zones are daily demand zones. Okay, all the daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zone, and weekly trend, that is ITF trend, is uptrend. So we can further filter this list based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence, because the daily demand zone is overlapped with weekly demand zone. So in the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, I am selecting weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. Let's filter. So we got 12 stocks. So these 12 daily demand zones are having more high probability to get success. Provide lesson 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. That is very important point. Don't grant all these 12 stocks give success. They may give you success only if less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. That point we should not forget. Okay, this is a high probability trade setup zones based on the first strategy. And what is second strategy that you learned in lesson 27? That is LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence and HTF EMA confluence. So let's generate reports based on that strategy. I'm removing ITF EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. That is daily and weekly, daily and monthly, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence. All the 3 zones should overlap with each other, daily, weekly and monthly. So I'm filtering. 4 stocks are there. In these 4 stocks, all these daily demand zones overlapped with weekly demand zone. Both together again overlapped with monthly demand zone. Okay. And we should also add one more filter, second filter, that is, and because all are overlapped with monthly demand zone and the monthly trend is uptrend in all the stocks, so we can further filter based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. That's filter. 2 stocks are filtered. So these 2 daily demand zones might be having more high probability to get success. Provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. The changes are entry time frame daily, entries on supply zone, bullish or bearish at daily time frame. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum order enhanced score 12 and daily supply pierced zones I am allowing. I am adding third filter. I am not adding. Okay, one stock is filtered. So this is only one stock supporting bearish trade setup for daily monthly income trade. Entry time frame zone is daily supply zone. Let's check any high probability support is available for this zone. First filter LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is daily and weekly supply zone confluence checking. So it is not having. So we don't have any high probability trade setup daily supply zones from this list. Okay. So next we will move on to weekly income trade reports. Weekly income trade sideways long trade setup, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. Sideways long trade setup at bullish or bearish or sideways at 75 minutes entry time frame. I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum order enhanced score 11 for sideways. And this 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. Now I am not allowing pierced zones. Only daily time frame I am allowed. 75 minutes demand zone. We don't want pierced zones. So that's why in the pierced count at 75 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count should be 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. Which is zone? Whatever you select here. Now currently I selected 75 minutes demand zone. So 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. Let's filter. So 2 stocks we got. Both are 75 minutes demand zones. Supporting sideways long trade setup for weekly income trade. Okay, these 275 minutes demand zones, you should plan trades only if less than 30.3 video checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next sideways short trade setup. Changes are 75 minutes sideways short trade setup for weekly income trade. 75 minutes supply zone and one more change, sideways short. Let's filter. We got 4 stocks. So these 4 75 minute supply zones might be supporting, sorry, not might be, they are supporting sideways short trade setup. And you should plan trades in these 75-minute supply zones only if less than 30.3 video checklist items are satisfied. Okay, next bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Changes are 75 minutes demand zone. We are bullish and minimum odd and hands score should be 12. So total we got 21 stocks. First 16 stocks that are supporting sideways, that are supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. First 16 stocks. And all the entry time frame zones are 75 minutes demand zones. So first 16 stocks, scrolling the list down. Total 21 stocks filtered. Let's further filter this list based for finding high probability trade setup 75 minutes demand zones based on two different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. First strategy is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence and then ITF demand zone with ITF EMA confluence. Let's apply this first strategy step by step. So first step, LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. Applying on the 21 stocks, we got 17 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 17 stocks. In all the 17, 75 minutes demand zones overlapped with the daily demand zone. Now second step we should apply, that is EMA confluence. Because 75 minutes trend, ITF trend is uptrend in all the stocks. So I am adding one more filter, that is a daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence. Because 75 minutes demand zone is overlapped inside the daily demand zone. Let's filter. Now we got 14 stocks. So these 14 75 minutes demand zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, there are higher chances of this demand zone violation. Less than 20 checklist is very important. If they are passed, you should plan the trade. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. So this is as per the first strategy we got these stocks. Then what is the second strategy? LTF, ITF and even HTF, all the three demand zone confluence and then HTF EMA confluence. So let's apply second strategy, removing ITF EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, three filters we have to set. That is 75 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and weekly, daily and weekly demand zone confluence. By setting all the three filters, 75 minutes, daily and weekly demand zone confluence, we got 9 stocks. In all the 9 stocks, all these 75 minutes demand zones are overlapped with daily demand zone, both together again overlapped with weekly demand zone. And the weekly trend is uptrend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, good. Out of 9, 8 stocks are having uptrend. In these uptrend stocks, weekly uptrend stocks, let's verify if weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. Because 75 minutes demand zone overlapped inside the weekly demand zone. So in the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence filter enabled. But one stock sideways is there, we don't want that stock. So in the trend weekly time frame, we are allowing only stocks having uptrend but not sideways. Because it is bullish trade setup, we set uptrend. So 6 stocks we got. Out of 8, 6 are filtered. That means all the 6 demands 75 minutes demand zones having more high probability to get success. Provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied. That is very, very important. If less than 20 checklist items are not satisfied, we should not plan trade because there are higher chances of this 75 minutes demand zone violation. This is as per the second strategy that you learned in lesson 27. Okay, this is a bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next, I will generate bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. So here entry time frame should be 75 minutes, entry zone, supply zone, bearish trade setup. So bullish, bearish at 75 minutes, I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score 12. And also 75 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count, at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 6 stocks. In all the 6 stocks, the 75 minutes supply zones are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade, and all the entry time frame zones are 75 minute supply zones. Okay, let us identify high probability trade setup 75 minute supply zones based on 2 different strategies that you learned in lesson 27. First strategy, LTF and ITF supply zone confluence, and then ITF supply zone with ITF EMA confluence. So let's apply these 2 steps one by one. The first strategy, 2 steps. First one is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence, that is 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence filter is enabled. By applying the filter, we got 4 stocks, 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. In all these 75 minute supply zones overlapped with daily supply zone. Next daily trend is a downtrend, ITF trend is daily. So let's further filter by using second step EMA confluence in the first strategy. That is daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. We got 2 stocks. So these 2 75 minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied, otherwise higher chances of zone violation. Okay, this is for the first strategy. Now by using second strategy, let us identify high probability trade setup zones. Second strategy is based on LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence and HTF EMA confluence. I am removing ITF EMA filter. In the supply zone confluence, 3 filters I have to set. LTF and ITF, HTF, that is 75 minutes daily and weekly. This is 75 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and weekly, daily and weekly supply zone confluence. By enabling all the 3 filters, we got 3 stocks. So using now these 3 stocks are having more high probability to get success in the 75 minute supply zones. Sorry. They are only first step in the second strategy. Now second step also we have to apply. What is second step? Weekly supply zone should have weekly EMA confluence for the downtrend. Sideways trend EMA does not work. Now let's verify if this stock weekly EMA is available. So weekly supply zone having weekly EMA, and trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. Let's filter. So it is filtered. So this 75 minute supply zone might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied, otherwise higher chances of zone violation. So this is bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Next I will generate daily income trade reports. For daily income trade sideways long trade setup, entry time frame should be 15 minutes. Entry zone demand zone, bullish or bearish or sideways at 15 minutes. I am selecting sideways long. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhancer score should be 11 for sideways and 15 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I'm setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means pierced count is 0. Pierced count 0 means zone is not pierced. Which zone? 15 minutes demand zone, whatever we select here. Let's filter. We got 3 stocks supporting sideways long trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. You should plan trades in these 15 minutes demand zones only if less than 30.3 video checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Next, sideways short trade setup for daily income trade. Changes are 15 minutes supply zone. Here sideways short. Let's filter. We got 4 stocks supporting sideways short trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame zones are 15 minutes supply zone. So we got 4 stocks. Out of these 4 15-minute supply zones, you should plan trades only if less than 30.3 video checklist items are satisfied. Otherwise, higher chances of zone violation. Okay, next, bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Changes are 15 minutes demand zone. Here bullish. Minimum odd and hands score should be 12. Let's filter. We got 7 stocks supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade. And entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. Out of these 7 15 minutes demand zones, there could be some high probability trade setup supported 15 minutes demand zones might be available. We need to filter them based on 2 different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. First strategy is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. After that, ITF demand zone should overlap with daily EMA confluence. So I'm going back, adding the first step in the first strategy, that is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence, that is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. By enabling the filter, out of 7, we got 5 stocks. In all the 5 15 minutes demand zones, they are overlapped with, demand zones, not supply. Out of all these 15 minutes demand zones, they are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. Because the 15 minutes demand zone overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone, and 75 minutes trend is uptrend. So let's further filter based on EMA confluence at 75 minutes demand zone. That is 75 minutes demand zone with daily EMA confluence. By enabling the filter, we don't have any stocks. Okay, next filter is LTF, ITF and HTF demand zone confluence and HTF EMA confluence. Removing ITF EMA filter. In the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First 15 minutes and 75 minutes, 15 minutes and daily, 75 minutes and daily demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got only 1 stock. This 15 minutes demand zone overlapped with 75 on daily. But daily trend is sideways trend, EMA confluence does not give much success. So not further filtering. Okay, this is a bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone, supply zone. Bullish or bearish at 15 minutes. I am selecting bearish. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd and hands score 12. And 15 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, minimum value I am setting 0, maximum value 0. Minimum value 0, maximum value 0. With these filters, we got 9 stocks supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. Entry time frame zones are 15-minute supply zones. So total we got 9 stocks. Let's identify high probability trade setup 15-minute supply zones based on two different zone confluence and EMA confluence strategies that we learned in lesson 27. So first strategy is having two steps, that is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. After that ITF supply zone with ITF EMA confluence. So first filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence, that is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence filter is enabled. Based on this filter we got 4 stocks, that is 15 minutes and 75 minutes supply zone confluence. All these 15-minute supply zones, and 75 minutes ITF trend is downtrend because 15 minutes supply zone overlapped with 75 minute supply zone. Now we are looking for 75 minute supply zone with daily EMA confluence. Two stocks are filtered. So these two 75 minute supply zones might be having more high probability to get success, provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied, otherwise higher chances of zone violation. So this is the first strategy. Second strategy, LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence and HTF EMA confluence. I am removing ITF EMA filter. Supply zone confluence, 3 filters I am setting. First 15 minutes and 75 minutes, next 15 minutes and daily, and 75 minutes and daily supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 2 stocks. In these 2 stocks, these 15-minute supply zones overlapped with 75 minutes, both together overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend, HTF trend is down in only 1 stock. Let's verify if this 15-minute supply zone having more high probability based on daily supply zone with daily EMA confluence. Daily supply zone with daily EMA. At the same time, daily trend should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So it is filtered. This 15-minute supply zone having more high probability to get success. Provide less than 20 checklist items are satisfied, otherwise higher chances of zone violation. So this is bearish trade setup for daily income trade. With this we have completed all the 3 income trade reports. Next I will generate finding the stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames, starting with the yearly. Stocks near yearly demand zone, no stocks. Stocks near yearly supply zone, also no stocks. Price closed inside the yearly demand zone, we got 3 stocks. Next, price closed inside the yearly supply zone, no stocks. So next time frame, half yearly. Stocks near half yearly demand zone, no stocks. Stocks near half yearly supply zone, also no stocks. Price closed inside the half yearly demand zone, we got 7 stocks. Next, price closed inside the yearly supply zone, half yearly supply zone, we got 2 stocks. So next time frame is quarterly. Stocks near to the quarterly demand zone, we got 1 stock. Next, stocks near to the quarterly supply zone, no stocks. Price closed inside the quarterly demand zone, we got 19 stocks. We can further filter this list based on quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence. It is quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA. At the same time, trend on the quarterly should not be sideways, so it can be up or down trend. We got 12 stocks. Okay, next Price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. We got 14 stocks. We can further filter based on quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA confluence. And also trend on the quarterly should not be sideways. We got 4 stocks. Okay, next time frame is monthly. Stocks near to the monthly demand zone, we got 1 stock. Next, stocks near to the monthly supply zone, we got 7 stocks. Next, price closed inside the monthly demand zone. First 16 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total we got 23 stocks. We can further filter this list based on monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. We got 10 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the monthly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 31 stocks are filtered. We can further filter based on monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence. And also trend on the monthly should not be sideways. We got 7 stocks. So this is about monthly time frame. Next, let us generate weekly reports. Weekly time frame, stocks near to the weekly demand zone, we got 9 stocks. Next, stocks near to the weekly supply zone, we got 7 stocks. Next, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. First 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 33 stocks we got. We can further filter this list based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. And also trend on the weekly should not be sideways. So we got 18 stocks. First 17 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So we got 18 stocks. Okay, next, price closed inside the weekly supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 62 stocks are filtered. We can further filter this list based on weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence. At the same time, trend on the weekly should not be sideways. It can be up or down trend. Let's filter. So first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Total 19 stocks are filtered. So this is about weekly time frame. Next time frame daily already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. We got 10 stocks. Next, stocks near to the 125 minute supply zone. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down, 18 stocks are filtered. Next time frame 75 minutes already generated in the beginning of the report. So the next time frame should be 25 minutes. Stocks near to the 25 minutes demand zone, we got 9 stocks. Next stocks near to the 25 minute supply zone, we got 10 stocks. Next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near to the 15 minutes demand zone, we got 5 stocks. Next stocks near to the 15 minute supply zone, we got 9 stocks. Next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near to the 5 minutes demand zone, we got 8 stocks. Next stocks near to the 5 minute supply zone, we got 7 stocks. So final report, I am generating stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. I am scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there pause the video, study the report. After that you can proceed. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. So this is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let us all meet again in our next video. Thank you.